Hey guys, Jen Hawkins back to talk about some very important things. So this is snippet 10, and if you're still with me, then this is going to be an important snippet for you because if you're still with me, then that tells me that you possibly have a million dreams keeping you awake. Remember when I first talked in one of our earlier snippets about the greatest showman and how that amazing song, A Million Dreams, and he's like, I have a million dreams keeping me awake. And there's another song about dreaming with my eyes wide open. And so if you're still with me, I think you probably have some dreams and some goals, and you are really starting to feel like this is something you want to do, that you want to go all in for. So this next snippet is going to talk about some of the things that you need to keep in mind as you start your business and go on your Plexus journey. One is mindset. And I want to talk I'm trying to shift back to kind of where I was in my mindset whenever I first started Plexus. And I remember feeling kind of fearful, to be honest. And I think I mentioned in the social media that I was terrified to make my first Plexus post. I remember reaching out to some of my closest friends and thinking, these are the friends that are going to join me. These are the friends that are going to come along for this journey with me. And they didn't, y'all. They didn't. A few of them came around the bend, but a lot of them just weren't interested right away. And a couple of them didn't even respond to me. And it was kind of hurtful, but I knew my why. I knew that this was going to be the way that I was going to be a stay-at-home mom. And I knew what I had to offer. I knew I believed in these products, and I knew that people could benefit from them. So I pushed past that fear. I felt the fear, but I did it scared, and I did it anyways. And I reached out to people, and I made my Facebook posts, and I did it knowing what I had to offer was a gift. So I remember that. And so if you're feeling kind of the same way, I want you to know that's okay. But I really, really challenge you to just push past that fear, because what you have to offer here, what you have in your hands is incredible. Referencing the Greatest Showman, the Million Dreams song, it's like they can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. But we can live in a world that we design. So keep those dreams going. Keep your why at the forefront, and know that people aren't gonna get what you do, and that's okay. They may come around the bend, and maybe they never will. But the people who will never come around the bend and join you or try the products. That's not who you're doing it for. You are doing this for the people who will say yes. You're doing it for your family. You're doing it for the people whose lives are going to change. You're doing it for the people who are desperate for what you have to offer, and they have no idea that you have something that can be the answer for them. That's who you're doing this for. Not for the ones that are going to be telling you no, not for the ones that are going to call you crazy for getting into this thing. That's not who you're doing it for. So keep that in mind, that the next person that you offer that to someone is going to be someone that is going to be incredibly blessed by Plexus. That's who you're doing this for. Okay. So the no's absolutely are not going to phase you. You are not going to get on that emotional roller coaster when someone tells you no, or someone buys and they decide not to buy the next month. And then that just deflates you, and you say, I guess I'm just not cut out for this. You are not going to ride that emotional roller coaster, because you know what you have to offer is amazing, and you are going to stay steady. There are going to be highs and there are going to be lows, and it's going to be really hard to not be so discouraged whenever someone, your best friend isn't going to come along this journey with you. That's going to be hard, but it's still going to be worth it, because there are going to be people waiting for what you have to offer. So I've heard someone say, like the diamonds and the leaders of the company, we are where we are, not because of all the yeses that we've gotten, but we are where we are because of all the no's that we've gotten. We've got a ton of no's. We've just gotten more no's than you. And getting through those no's have gotten us the yeses that have gotten us to where we are in this amazing company. So I want you to remember that. It's not that all of us, we just never had to deal with the rejection, because we did, and it's okay, but we pushed past that anyway. And that's another reason why in one of my earlier snippets I talk about building belief. and how hope brings you in, but belief keeps you here. That's why it's so important to build that belief in what Plexus can do for people. It's there. It's there whether you are believing it or not, but you need to go expose yourself so that you know what it is and what Plexus can do for people. Because when you have that belief, that's what's going to keep you here. That and your why is going to keep you going. Okay, so if you're still with me, another thing I want to talk about is having a positive attitude. I have a little thing whenever I think about positive attitude. I think about this little this thing that in the foreword of this book. It's called Millionaire by Halftime: How to Win with Network Marketing. It's by Presley Swaggerty, and he was a coach. So the guy who wrote the foreword says this about Presley Swaggerty, and it's always stuck with me about an attitude, and I just want to read it to you. He says, if I could pick only one thing that has made Presley Swaggerty successful, it would have to be his attitude. Your attitude is yours. You constantly choose whether you are going to control your thoughts and your attitude, or whether you will allow circumstances or someone else to control it. The great thing is that you get to decide. The coach has control and mastery of his attitude. And I know sometimes whenever I'm thinking, oh, and I've just kind of got a bad attitude about something, I'm like, I have that's my decision to have a good attitude or a bad decision or a bad attitude. And another thing is that we're talking about fear and maybe being afraid of what people will think about you. Maybe you are fearful that people will think you're just trying to make money off them or something like that. And I talked about how when you know what you have to offer, you know that it's a gift for people and that it can change people's life. But our default so often is to operate out of fear and to make decisions based on fear. And we have to intentionally choose to operate out of faith. Have that faith, feel the fear, and move forward anyways. Do it scary anyways. And that you're moving outside your comfort zone, and that is where the magic is going to happen. I already said it in a previous video, but what doesn't challenge us doesn't change us. So if you are in here and you're still with me and you have a million dreams, you will be challenged, and you are going to have to push past some of these fears and get outside your comfort zone. And don't ride that emotional roller coaster that just because the first 3 people that you ask to take a look at Plexus, they tell you no. That no is not personal. It's either not the right timing, maybe not the right circumstances, maybe you don't have enough information yet, or maybe you just haven't really shown them specifically how Plexus is going to be a blessing to them. How can Plexus help them? And you just haven't connected those dots yet. And so many people come around the bend. Some of those friends that told me no in the first place, yeah, they're back. I have them. They're in my team. They're successful. They're customers. They've had great success. So don't count people out because they tell you no. And I talked a little bit about that in follow up. But it's just so important to not, when you're starting this, to be like, oh, so-and-so told me no. And you start questioning, why am I doing this? Is this really the right thing? So have your belief, have your why, do it scary, know what you have to offer is a gift, and keep that positive attitude. This is just good advice in life or no matter what, because negativity is toxic to your life. It can be toxic to your relationships. It can be toxic to any job you have. It is just toxic, and negativity will be toxic in Plexus as well. So keep that positive attitude and know what you have to offer is a gift. You just do your part and keep sharing, and we're going to do it for the people that are going to accept this gift, and it's going to change their life. So if you can keep that perspective and not feel like you're just selling something to someone, because if you think you're just selling something to someone and you think people are going to think that, then that may be true if that's how you think. But we got to change that perspective, because you have the opportunity to change lives, and that is what we have with Plexus. Okay. All right, we're almost wrapping up our snippet series. We just have a couple more. So we'll see you for the next one.